Greetings and aloha. What's going on? It's your buddy Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com. You are on the spot.fm. You are on BKK.fm. And I am with my very, very good friend,
Robbie from Walking Around Shoes, Thailand. You have a smack? Okay, no smack. Walking Around Shoes, Thailand, people. Thank you for tuning in here on the spot on this awesome Friday for me and Saturday for you Bangkok people.
Saturday for you crazy Bangkok people. Oh, my God. Yeah, Saturday, dude. Been a week since we've been on the air. What the hell? We got to do this more often, I'm thinking. Speaking of Songkran. So, hey, gang, good to have you along for the ride. And hopefully you're watching us on YouTube at The Spot Thailand. Hopefully you're watching us on Walking in My Shoes on YouTube. Somewhere. Hopefully you're watching us on Live My Ass Off. And if you are, head your butt over to thespot.fm or go to bkk.fm. But what would be really, really freaking spectacular is if you went over to youtube.com/@thespot.fm and you were one of the 8 cool people. Welcome to the new Cool Kids table. If you are the next 8 people to subscribe to our channel, and that will make Robbie take off his pants. Did you know we were doing that? You didn't know we were doing that promo.
Crickets, man.
I know. Pants.
I tell you what, I've missed the Cool Kids table, man. We haven't talked about the Cool Kids table very much.
Well, I tell you,
I mean, how do you get into the Cool Kids table?
So first of all, what you do is you need to take your shirt off. So speaking of Christy, I'm glad that you asked that. Soy Mafia, Mother of God. No, but here we go.
House.
Good to see you, Dave. Thank you so much for coming by, man. I really appreciate it. Wow. Gracie was like, look, dude, TikTok, 3 minutes. Gracie and Kitty, of course, on their way down to Pattaya Jom Tien Koh Larn for the weekend. Girls trip. That should be pretty good.
What are you girls doing? What are you girls doing? We know what you're doing. Why don't you tell everybody what you're doing? Type it in the message bar.
8:03 right now. That means I believe that they are now getting on the bus. They are probably going to be getting on the bus heading down there pretty soon.
Mafia,
so that's really cool.
Yes, it is freaking freezing here in California. Dude. I'm here in Pismo Beach and
cold.
I'm wearing a hoodie
indoors.
I'm wearing a hoodie indoors with my fireplace on and the wall heater, and I am dying to get back to Bangkok right now.
You're dying to get back home.
Trying to get back home, and it's happening, guys. It's a process, and I know we're going to talk about that a little bit today for sure. But yeah, I'm dying to get back home, man.
We were gonna, as you know, like we talk. You guys can probably imagine Robbie and I talk throughout the week, right? And so one of the things that we talk about is like, hey, what are we going to talk about this weekend? And we even do it in the mornings right before the show. And so the week was going by and we're both like kind of busy and it's like, well, what are we going to talk about? And I just said, hey, look, we'll do pro tips. And then he and I started talking this morning and he's going through, the neat thing is that he's going through a lot of what I went through, which is, you know, you say to yourself, oh, I'm going back home. And then of course you correct yourself and say, California no longer feels like home. It feels like Bangkok is home. And now I'm leaving my home. You know, Thailand is now my home. I'm leaving home. And so one of the things that we talked about, Robbie and I just this morning, was how things that you used to just sort of accept and potentially didn't even acknowledge that would happen around you in your home, meaning Pismo Beach, California for him, San Diego for me. Now, like, you almost hate it. Like, it's almost like I hate everything about Arco and, like, you know, 7-Eleven is overpriced and, oh, my God, can you believe the way these people drive and everything? But one of the things you're talking about is the temperature. Yeah, and you mentioned that. What is the temperature right now?
Cold?
No. I mean, is it like, because again, cold, right, is relative. And I complained about the cold so much. I mean, I think you got one of these absolutely, you know, perfect sort of things. It's like, this was me. You know, this is me basically talking about
used my picture. I love it.
Yeah. No, it's just like, look, dude, this is cold, absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm a little bitch, and I'm like so friggin' cold no matter what. And it would be like 75 degrees outside, because when it gets 70 here, I get
52.
cold.
52, 40s, right around there. Matter of fact, Christy, who's online right now, she probably knows the temperature much better than I do. And she's about 50 miles south of me.
What are you,
Christy,
5
p.m.? If you're online, type in how cold it is where you're
5
at.
p.m. there?
It is 5 p.m. right here, right now.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
cool.
it's
Dave
cold. It's not a good feeling. Good morning, Patrick. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, brother. Right on, man. Glad you're here.
Yeah, so 45. There it is.
Fucking come on. I want a discount on my property taxes if it gets that cold, dude. That is ridiculous.
California, and I live off the beach, man. I mean, I see the beach from my house. I mean,
dude, I can see Russia from my backyard. Wait,
no, don't talk too much on Russia. We get too many comments there.
And timely. Oh, yeah, no, there goes our ad revenue right there because I used the R word, rectum.
Rectum. I love it.
Damn near killed him. So, all right, so tell me, okay, so the temperature, right? And, you know, people will use these cute little phrases like, well, your blood is thinning, you know, which of course is totally medically inaccurate, but, you know, you kind of get what they mean.
My blood is thinning, huh?
You've never heard that? You've never heard that thing?
No, I actually have not heard that.
That's, so I grew up in New England, and when I moved to California and I would come back to New England to see my buddies and stuff, I'd be like, oh my God, it's cold. And they're like, oh, well, your blood is thinning, you know? And I'm like, well, maybe you should dial back the cholesterol, ace, and then you wouldn't have, you know, so much thick blood.
Yeah.
But I, you know, it's sort of, you know, one of these sort of old wives' tale BS phrases. Excuse me, that they would use, you know, to sort of say, well, this is, you know, you've lost. You're not as tough as you used to be, dude, because you live in Southern California. And I'm like, no, I'm not as stupid as I used to be living in Boston in February. So you mentioned before you left Bangkok, because you knew you were going to fly back to California, be there for 2 weeks, do business stuff, condense your life a bit, get ready to move over here more permanently. But at the same time, while you're there 2 months, you're like, okay, and then I'm going to be back in Thailand for 2 months, and then I'm going to be back in California for 2 months. Once again, as you and I have mentioned, you don't decide to move to Thailand on a Saturday.
No.
And then Monday morning, you touch down and bam. It's a process.
It's definitely a process.
And so, yeah.
I'm going to walk you guys through some of that process. As a lot of you guys know, I like Mike was saying, we did a whole series on my move over here. But as a business owner, this is how I get my income. Is I still got to have a business. I'm not retired, you know, per se. I'm working part-time. But I do have a business here. I had to navigate that for this next year. I'll navigate that. And essentially, I'm here to close up my apartment where I'm at and live in a van down by the river.
So to that point, you said today, that was a big day, and we'll get to what that big day is, because I remember that big day, and it was like, okay, I'm really serious now. Like, in other words, for me, it was, I quit my job. But for you, to the point of, you know, we joked around about it, of course, you're homeless. You're homeless with money in your pocket and a credit card and a passport. So it's like, life ain't so bad. But what did you do today?
So today I submitted my letter of vacancy here at my home. So
you gave 30 days notice. Yeah.
My 30-day notice, and without an address to go to, which is going to be a lot of fun. An address here in the States. So, I mean, I'm okay on that regards, and it's totally my choice to make this happen in order to, I like having money when I go to Thailand. So
you have
to pay the kind of rent payments and life payments, I'd say about $3,000 a month accumulatively just to live in this place.
Sure.
I might as well save 2 months and put my notice in. I go back to Thailand on the 29th
of March. Yep.
And I will be out of this place on the 25th. So
nice. Okay, so in that interim, for me, the way it worked out, just because the lady that I lived with, basically, her, you know, she had the big house, mansion thingy, and I lived in the guest house, which basically means that I lived in my front yard was the pool, and I had this little cottage thingy, and but she was kind of like a mom to me, effectively, and you know, so it was like, well, I'm giving you 30 days notice, and I'm like, look, I don't need the security deposit back, just do whatever. I had been there like 8 years. And so I just basically woke up in the morning and I took the keys and I left those on that kitchen table of the house I was in. And then I walked out, got in my rental car, drove to LAX, and that was it. So, but for you, and so meaning that I lived where I lived until like the day that I went to LAX. For you, you've got between the 25th and the 29th. And so is that going to be the whole like, yeah, I'm going to do the van life thing? Or are you like, no, I'm just going to get a friggin' hotel? And
No, I'll probably do a hotel or stay at a friend's house or something like that. I mean, great question. Because in the whole preparation, I mean, you got to have a place to live and shower, and I still run my business. So on the 25th, and I've already told my office and clients, pretty much I'm gone. The 25th of March, I'm gone. So it gives me a couple of days to finish putting pieces together and see my friends and that kind of stuff. And yeah, and during our tips, matter of fact, guys, during our tips, because most of this show is going to be about pro tips.
Yeah,
definitely
for sure.
ask questions about that if you would like to, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Because everything I'm doing is not stuff I made up. This is stuff I've gotten from people like Mike's and other YouTubers. And again, I know this from when I give a pro tip, you got to discover for yourself.
Right.
You do. I mean, it's like medical insurance. Hey, where's the best medical insurance? Well, it could be a military insurance. I don't know. So
Totally.
on moving on the 25th, I'm gone. I'll stay at a hotel, sort my final things out, come back to Thailand.
Yeah.
And guys, I will be there for Songkran, which we're going to talk about that, I hope.
Big time.
I can't wait, man. Cannot wait.
I think that's you, actually, right there with your blue hoodie.
There it is.
Right there in the middle. Yeah, we'll get back to you. I think you were peeing your pants at that time, but that's okay.
And I will be going to party. I'm not going to, beat around the bush here. I'm going to be boots on the ground. I'm going to book my hotel probably today. So, Joe, I saw that you're watching. Let's connect, man, because I know you wanted to book a hotel. So let's get a block of rooms. So
here's the interesting thing about the statement, beat around the bush. Do you find that has a different definition when you say it relative to Pattaya? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, I mean, I just think that is a, bird in the hand worth two in the bush. I mean, two hands in one bush. Nice. That is a commitment of epic proportion as far as I'm concerned. Good to see you, MedTech. Love you, brother. Hopefully you're enjoying BKK right now. So here's the thing. When you say you're going to stay in a hotel, and here's another delta between, so example, like how do you move to Thailand? And of course, like I've always said, the answer to everything is it depends. How did I move to Thailand? How is Robbie moving to Thailand? The way I moved to Thailand is about 2 weeks before I was going to leave, I went to CarMax and I said, here you go. And I knew how much money the Acura dealer was going to basically give me / charge me to turn in my car. Because it was about, I think it was like 4 to 6 months before the end of the lease, because I absolutely rented my cars. Because I'm like, the way I looked at automobiles for about the last 5 years of my life in California when I was coming over here to Thailand, this is a transportation appliance. I want zero ownership over this depreciating asset. Let me use it.
With that now.
My cost of life as far as the transportation appliance is like, I have $500 per month I'm going to allocate to this thing. I don't care if it's a pod or a flying car or an Acura. And so I would do that. So anyway, so I drove into CarMax. What are you going to give me? They gave me I said, awesome. I gave them my credit card. They're like, okay, yep, $300 or $400. I literally walked down the street, got on the bus, went back home. So you are going to have a van that you'll have some stuff in. You'll also have storage, and you still have an office and that sort of thing. But your vehicle, because that's a fairly relatively important topic, especially in Southern California, because you can't live in California without a car unless you want to do a 2.5 hour commute everywhere. So are you going to have like a parking spot for this? And the reason I bring this up is because when you said hotel, the first thing I thought was, maybe you're going to get a hotel at LAX. And one of the things I did with my car before I moved to Thailand permanently is I would drive my car to LAX, and the Westin there has a ridiculously reasonable price to leave your car there per month. And so I would just leave. Yes. So you know how you're driving down and it's like on the left, I believe, is the Westin. And then there's like the Thrifty car rental or something like that. Anyway, regardless, it's on that side. And I remember driving in, and then they have like, this parking garage or whatever, which is way too much parking for a hotel, especially at an airport. And I left it there for like a month and a half, 2 months maybe. So I'm wondering, like, what's your plan for your vehicle while you're in Thailand for 2 months? Not having a house to park it in.
Yeah, so I have a couple options, and I don't have a solid plan just yet. And what I've done in the past is leave it at a friend's house who has property, and that's most likely what I'm going to do again.
Okay.
Now, where I live, there's tons of different parking areas for RVs and cars because people travel. You know, this is a vacation destination.
Yeah.
Now, back to the LAX. When I did it in 2019, I was going to leave my car, but it was $13 a day. So I don't know if that's really an option anymore. So for you guys coming from LA, definitely check that out because I'm curious where you could leave it for a month because I looked and I had found nothing. And,
you got to remember, guys, that when I was doing this was long before COVID. This was long before this crazy prices. This is long before used cars were a complete ripoff. And let me actually just Google it right now because I'm actually very curious whether this hotel is still doing that.
Yeah.
Because
there's a lot of hellos, guys. Definitely.
Yeah, thank you. I have seen those. Thank you very much.
Yeah, click that thumbs up. Go to thespot.fm. Watch it on YouTube. Watch it on Walking My Shoes or Live My Ass or wherever you guys are watching this. We would really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button on our The Spot Thailand YouTube channel. We are so close. We are 8 subscribers away. And thank you guys for all the hellos to each other. I think that's cool to see a lot of activity there in the chat. Yeah, so the big
here's
reel
one
he's
for
on
you.
is Ryan. So in case you guys don't know, Ryan changed his what did he change everything? I don't know.
Channel
Anyways,
name,
Ryan,
yeah? He did his channel name, right?
Ryan's got some explaining to do. He was Eat Out Patia and now he's the big reel.
Yeah,
did you
absolutely.
Get some
the big reel. Right?
Out? That's what I'm wondering. What happened, Ryan?
He ate out and he's like, yeah, forget it. So here's one for you, you guys, and Robbie. whereipark.com/Los Angeles. And what this does is that, I mean, there are people that have like apartment complexes and they're like, look, dude. And so, for example, right down the street from Enterprise Rent-A-Car, right there in Manchester, for $360 a month, you can park your car at like this apartment complex. But if you see, and so for example, and the other thing about the Westin, of course, that was a beauty about being able to park my car there was, of course, it's a Westin and it's at LAX. Yeah, so they have a van that goes back and forth, every friggin' 30 minutes. But anyway, so, and the bottom line is that there's plenty of solutions like that. So, but for $300 a month, and I would argue that was probably what I was looking at. When I looked at the Westin, I was probably like, look, I didn't really want to spend more than $200. Sorry, $10 a day.
$300, no big deal.
Because the thing is that the way I didn't commute the way you commuted. The way I commuted to Thailand is I would get a rental car in San Diego, drop it off at LAX. So I would effectively rent a car for like a day, maybe 2 days, and pick it up in San Diego, drive it to LAX. And my comfort level was about $100, plus or minus some tax. If I can rent a car for $100, drive it to the airport, drop it off, and then, of course, the rental car company takes me to the airport. I'm basically at the airport. This works out well. And I thought, okay, so that's $200 each way. But if I drive my car there and park my car there and I spend $300, well, then I basically get off the plane, I get at my luggage, I get into my own car, and and then I drive home. So that worked out well. So, but you got a buddy who you said who's got like some land.
Yeah, I've done that in the past where I leave my car. Of course, I've had a van the last 2 trips I've been there. So, like Mike's, I let go of my car and I had a BMW and I would park that in a nicer parking area because don't want it to get damaged.
Sure.
And then I would park the van essentially in his open lot. And it's secure. Okay. And that's important. I leave a lot of stuff in the van. And the whole van thing, we're not going to talk much about it this show, but I know that's going to be a big topic because when I come back in the summer, I'm going to be van lifing it around the country here in the United States. So I'm sure
that's going to be that's going to be a neat trip, if for no other reason than, of course, when you're back there will be some overlap when I'm back there, when I'm in the Boston area.
Yes.
So that was cool.
I'm going to make an attempt to come see you, buddy. Come on.
That was going to be, dude, I'll tell you what, New England in the summer, it's paradise for like about 8 weeks. Yeah. MedTech, thank you for asking. I wanted to acknowledge you and say thank you very much for one of the reasons I'm in our office, our studio right now, is because I'm not in Pattaya, and I was supposed to be in Pattaya this weekend. But my back hurt badly, and I couldn't move. And one of the requirements for me to travel at this point is basically to carry a piece of luggage full of about 20 pounds of gear, microphone, boom, lighting and that sort of thing, mixers, all that. And our office is on the 4th floor of a townhouse that has no elevator. So in other words, it's a good test. If I can carry basically 20 pounds worth of stuff up and down 4 flights of stairs, drag it to the bus, go to Pattaya, then I should have no problems. And I couldn't do that. Then my shoulder started hurting. So, yeah.
Speaking of the studio mics, why don't you explain how people can support us in the studio?
That's a great question. So there's a couple of ways. First of all, we have the ability to first of all is this shirt, and that's why he has that up there. And what I'll do is I'll put this short link up there. It's a Doodly link. If you just go to Doodly/spot, Doodly/spot, you guys get the ability to basically look as amazing as Roger. And I'm sorry, is that Robert or Roger? Remind me.
That's Robert right there.
Robert Mack in Asia.
Shirt,
Robert Mack Media.
Mack in the house.
Thank you, buddy, for demoing that. But anyway, so what you want to do is you want to go there to the URL that's on the bottom. I will actually copy and paste that into the to the chat, so that'll go to everybody, so you can click on it directly. What that does is that allows you to buy a way cool bitchin' shirt, and Robbie was talking about being part of the cool kids table. That allows you entrance.
Boom.
And anyway, so they're pretty neat, and we like them a lot. They have some really cool QR codes on them, and they have the ability to, basically get you laid. And so I would highly recommend wearing one, Christy. So that is the first way. The next way is I would love if you guys click on the upper left-hand corner right above my finger. If you want to pull my finger, I saw that it notified us that someone scanned that QR code. If you scan that QR code, you'll be able to listen to the Spot. You'll be able to listen to the Spot.fm. And then that will also allow you to kind of like be part of the Cool Kids table. And the other way is that if you click on it now, you can basically send us some cash if you want. We can do it. The reason that we like this a little bit better than the YouTube Super Chats is because we don't pay YouTube to do it. I'm fully okay with paying YouTube and Google. At the end of the day, they give us a 100% reliable, unlimited space video transport platform. So that's really cool. But you can also click this if you want to basically support the Sewing Club, which is Robbie and I doing our morning show here. If you want to do that and buy us a smoothie, that's always a cool thing to do.
Well, another thing that happened today was we did ship out our first set of shirts today. So if you guys have already bought shirts, they were shipped out, and in the little package, you'll see some other little gifts and stuff like that you guys can have. And one of them is going to be this little sticker right here.
Oh, dude, look at that. And here's the cool thing is the one that you guys get will not be the mirror image that Robbie is showing you right now. So through the magic of technology, we're actually reprinting those the correct way and then sending you guys that one there. But the neat thing about that is you could put it on the front of your car, and then the people in front of you could then, of course, look in it. So like ambulance, So that's why we got such a good deal on them.
Buddy's car. That's a good friend.
Just do that. I tell you what. You see anyone who's got like a German car, so BMW, Mercedes, all you got to do is just cruise over to like Target, Walmart, get yourself a putty knife, and then you go right to the bow of their car.
Oh, that's
and then
good, Mike.
Pry that sumbitch right off. And actually, you have to use the word sumbitch. You cannot say son of a bitch. You have to say pry that sumbitch off. And then what you do is you put the Spot bumper sticker on there, and then traditionally run away. So that's the best way that you can really help us. I mean, this whole like giving us money thing, like that would work out. But the mighty Stu Studio, this is just one of many Stu Studios. We have this now in Bangkok. We're soon to have one in Pattaya. So that'll be pretty amazing.
Did you see this right here?
I did.
Trash Thailand?
I did. I saw Trailer Trash Thailand. I also saw Joe gave us $5 from his panties. That was very nice.
Boom.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But Trailer Trash Thailand. Is that Ryan's second channel?
That's Dave.
Very good.
Dave, man.
Steve, what's going on, buddy?
See, I actually like that name, Trailer Trash, man. That's kind of funny. I love it.
You do.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Funny. I love it. Thanks, Joe, for the $5. Totally appreciate it.
Dude, you're
you guys,
a star.
We're not here to try and solicit money or anything like that. We're here to entertain you guys, tell you how to get to Thailand, tell you guys all about Thailand. So just so you guys know, we're going to get into some pro tips, talk to you guys about what we're doing, what you're doing. And if you guys have questions, throw them down in the comment box. and we're definitely going to get to them. We're going to spend a little more attention for you guys and with you guys. And Dave's camping channel.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Nice.
Okay. Are you camping in Thailand? That's a good question. Is this camping in Thailand?
That's an interesting topic, because I can tell you that just in the last, probably, when did I get 19? So probably since about 2017, that started becoming really popular. Now, we don't have the RV penetration over here that, of course, exists in the United States. I mean, the infamous
say penetration, Mike?
Penetration in the United States. And speaking of hands in the bush, the whole, like, I'm going to quit my job, or I've retired and we sold our house and we bought an RV and we're going to travel the United States. I mean, that isn't really common over here at all. You can get RVs over here, but they're actually arguably ridiculously expensive. And you would never buy one the same size as, like, you wouldn't get like a diesel pusher like you would in the United States, because you'll just, I mean, you'll be able to drive it on the freeway or highway, and that's about it. And then you like small towns, you'll never be able to cruise it around unless you have it full to Chinese. And then, of course, you can navigate anywhere. Or ladyboys, which you should do. Actually, you should put those on the roof.
Yeah. Well, Joe is requesting
but it's a thing now,
Mike. Don't miss it.
So so here's what's interesting. The short answer is yes, Joe, but it won't be until Robbie gets back. We actually met with her, Ratana, and we talked to her for, about an hour, right? And she's fascinating.
It's going to happen.
She's totally cool. And she's the reason why you would be like, oh, I can see, because you probably think, Mike's crazy. Like, he loves ladyboys. Gracie gets on and she chats. She goes, I love ladyboys. Why the hell would you, what is this? Is it some weird sexual fetish? And for no other reason for me, I love when I'm around the energy of someone that is incredibly comfortable in their own skin, especially if their outward appearance is arguably not normal, okay? So you see this, meat suit walking along, a human, you see this person walking down the street, and you're like, oh, wow, she's really attractive, right? And then you potentially learn, oh, that's a guy. And then you're like, okay, well, why would that? And this is all about how do you get to know Thailand, right? You learn of these things called ladyboys. Like, what the hell does that really mean?
Yeah.
But the neat thing about Ratana is that up until, what did she say? Up until like basically a year or two ago, she was working in, she had a salon. She owned a salon. She cut hair and she did all this. Now she works at one because she lost the salon because of COVID. It was horrible. And so now she works at one. Yeah. But she had really big hands. So she does massage on Sukhumvit Road. And you guys can interpret that however you want to. At the end of the day, she's making money so she can support her son and her life. And she's basically doing whatever it takes. And the neat thing is that, because, I mean, Robbie and I we can walk right into friggin' Soy Cowboy or down to Nana, and we can give some ladyboy 2,000 baht, and she'll come and sit with us and, basically give us an interview. And then it's like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, interviewing a hooker, I suppose, is pretty interesting, but at the end of the day, that's not really what we're all about. And again, what I love about Ratana and many ladyboys like her is that she's like, no, this is my life now. And the second I can stop doing this massage garbage and actually have my own salon or make my own living this way and be comfortable in my own skin. And then the fantasy we learned for them is to be able to have the gender on their national ID changed to the one that they identify with. And the other reason I'm bringing this up and actually spending a little bit more attention units on it right now, as I normally do, is that if you don't know, in Sydney right now is the Pride Festival. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Kylie Minogue opened the thing, and they're just really 500,000 people showing up, and just like, I would submit at least 10% of those people are not LGBTQI, which I learned is an additional letter they have now.
Or are they just curious?
They're just, they're kind of curious, but they're also like supporting these people doing what they're doing, and I love that part. So anyway, yes, we will have an interview, but I want to wait till Robbie gets back here. We've already sort of interviewed her, but we didn't have like the gear, so we didn't record her. But we also wanted to set some boundaries. Like, are you comfortable talking? She says, no. Like, I'm not going to talk about sex. I'm not going to talk about that stuff. We'll probably, as far as sexual kind of connotation, if you will, we'll probably touch on the fact that there was a time in her life where she says, okay, I'm going to earn enough money and generate revenue for myself and save up, and I'm going to buy these breast implants. And I think that that's actually an important thing to talk about, because, I mean, that's a pretty significant commitment to saying, no, I am committed to this gender. I feel much more comfortable this way. So anyway, I find them fascinating, and I really love people that have gone through quite a lot, quite frankly, to be comfortable in their own skin. So I think she's incredibly
and speaking
interesting.
of events, we talked about events. So in Pattaya, there's the Bike Week this week. So you guys definitely go check that out. I don't have any slides to show you.
This is in Pattaya, though, you said, right?
Yeah, it's in Pattaya, and I know it's going on right now. Chocolate Man in Thailand YouTube posted regarding Bike Week, and really good video. You guys go check it out.
So what's funny is I just typed Bike Week in, right? And so obviously it's Google. They're like, okay, what's most relevant to him? So the first thing that comes up is Bike Week, March 3rd through the 12th in Daytona Beach. And then the next thing is Bike Week in Phuket, which is at the end of April this year. So I guess like over the next couple months, there's multiple bike weeks. I didn't realize that. Because I think last week, I think Dave actually asked us, hey, are you guys going down to Bike Week? So no, here's what's interesting. Are you sure it's this week? Oh, yeah. No, because every time I Google something, I get February 9th through the 11th.
Well, dude, if it's not this week, I'm embarrassed already. So you guys don't even worry about it. I don't know.
No, because remember when you brought it up? When you brought it up, I said, oh, well, that makes sense. Because as we mentioned, the girls are having a girls trip down in Pattaya. And we're looking online last night, a couple nights ago, go to Airbnb. And I'm like, why are the prices high this weekend? I even told you the Davari Barapa Bike Week in Pattaya, Patrick.
Yeah, there it is.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it. Now I don't feel like a big dummy. So it says last week from Ryan. So it was last week. And the videos are just delayed. So you guys, there you go.
Yeah.
Pounding sand.
Okay.
Stop at the lady boys. It's common knowledge. You know what's interesting, and I posted this comment, is it is common knowledge quite a bit, but it's not about prostitution. Just so you guys know, all these lady boys are not prostitution. They're not prostitutes.
No, it's like saying all Thais.
Not at all.
Or, it's ridiculous.
I personally get asked that all the time.
Sure.
I get asked it all the time.
People see videos of Pattaya, and they think that that's the only thing that occurs in Thailand. Everywhere in Thailand is beach road. No.
And to have an interview with Lady Boy, and you'll see for yourself. She's just human, normal person, and it's pretty awesome to hang out. Right. And trust me, she's funny and got some funny stories to tell you guys. You guys will have a good time for sure.
If you guys interface with someone who doesn't necessarily, or English is not their native language, and that's a lot of us. I mean, my wife is that way. Kitty's that way. She's learning English, and Gracie has learned it, and she's learning it better too. But if they can get to the point where basically they can like make jokes in English, or they have like some degree of sarcasm, they can understand sarcasm in English, then they've really sort of adopted that. And Ratana, that's a great example because her English is actually quite good. And like you and I are sitting there and we're and then she would make a joke, and it was almost, I don't know about you, but I would hear it and I'd be like, well, that was actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
like
she's pretty smart.
Yeah, and indeed, and she's not stupid. So I agree with you. I don't know
3 languages, if I remember right.
That was the other interesting thing, right? So English, Thai, and I believe, is it German? Is that?
I know she's from Cambodia, so
she's from Cambodia, right? So Khmer, obviously, fairly similar, to Lao is,
right.
I guess,
there
more.
There was another language, like a European language. So this girl's brilliant. I think she's super smart.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun interview. Because arguably, we shot ourselves in the foot. We were just joking around one day, and we're like, oh, my God, we should do a Ladyboy live stream. And then we ended up going over to this bar, and it was just like, this didn't work out real well because we couldn't really ask them, pertinent questions. Our camera had to be facing a black wall so that we wouldn't, embarrass anybody or put anyone's sort of public face on. So that was bad. So we learned from that experience. And so I think moving forward, our interviews are going to be hopefully with people that are, fairly interesting, that you'd be like, oh, I'd hang out with this person. So anyway.
Yeah, and before we get into the pro tips, guys, just a quick heads up. If you're tuned in to Walking in My Shoes or Live My Ass Off or any of our Facebook channels, wherever you guys are at, very much would appreciate you tune into The Spot Thailand YouTube. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to our 1,000.
We're at 993. 993, guys.
And we appreciate you guys for tuning in. And again, if you're not on the show, or if you're haven't tuned into the show or whatever, later on, tune in. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Later on, you can still tune in to thespot.fm on your computer, on your phone, listen to some awesome music, listen to Mike's give a couple cool commercials or all that kind of stuff. It's actually pretty fun. Definitely check it out. And yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
Nice.
So there you go.
I want to show you guys this. Look at this, guys. I'm telling you, super, super close. $9.93, my friends. And so thank you to the additional subscriber, but we're only 7 away. Please help us out. Please help. I mean, create a goddamn YouTube channel, a fake one if you have to. No, I'm just kidding.
A fake one.
No, it's pretty good. Ah, is that you? Oh, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. That's great. It's good to know, actually. I mean, I've been like number 12 on some people's channels. And I remember when I got it to 1,000, you guys may or may not remember, that was during COVID. Rob was on there. Rike was on there. And I remember, so this is a great example. So I had this live counter. And so there were guys watching. And so I was going like 991, 992, 993. And then I got up to like 999 and then 1,000, 1,003. And then there were people in the chat that were unsubscribing. So I like rolled back to underneath 1,000. And I said, oh, why do you people hate me so much? So let's not do that with the spot. Can we agree that we're going to go over 1,000 and stay there?
Here you go. Question. Do you need to know Russian?
Niet.
I'm not sure if that's pertaining, Joe. I don't know a lick of Russian. I do speak now a little bit of Thai. Mike knows
You've
a little
licked
bit
the
of Thai.
Russian? You need to just focus, dude. I don't understand. I know how to say basically one word in Russian, which is niet. No. 994. Is that where we're at? Oh, my God, Joe. Thanks for keeping us up to date, buddy. I appreciate it. Well, so here's what's funny, right? So if I go to like Social Blade, it still says 992. So
here we
once
go.
again,
Check this out. Here we go, guys. So, book my flight coming out for a month.
Hey.
Could not wait any longer. Arriving BKK March 8th.
Thank you. I want to say a couple of things about this guy. It was one of these sort of random, oh my God, I've never seen this channel before. I think he's got like, a couple hundred subs, maybe 500 now, maybe 1,000. I don't even know. Pension and a Passport. I was watching something, commented, and he came over and he watched, many of you guys have seen this before, my series on why Thailand, right? And so it was really cool. So thank you for coming by the show. I really appreciate it, man. I can't remember exactly where you are in the U.S., but shoot me a message. Absolutely, dude. Yeah, less than 2 weeks. So Mike's at thespot.fm or Robbie at thespot.fm. Get in touch with us, brother. And
definitely. And I'll be there.
Let's grab a smoothie.
And I'll be there at the end of March 29th, and I'm hoping we can get a meetup together with everybody.
That'd be
Joe's
awesome.
going to be there. A bunch of you guys are going to be there, so hopefully we can all meet up, and let's do Songkran, man. Let's do it. Let's have a good time.
What are you most excited for about Songkran? I mean, obviously, there's the sort of like, okay, well, I know it's going to be a bunch of this stuff, right?
Hold on 1 second. We're going to stop this right here. The pension and passport from Arroyo Grande.
Do you know where that is?
I mean, well, that's where I'm at.
Seriously?
It's right next door to me. I'm right here in Pismo Beach.
Can you? What's your name, Pension? Maybe you know this guy, for God's sake.
Dude, I might know who it is.
Can you even look? Does he even look? Let's see what we got here.
Dude,
here now.
Might be knocking on my front door. Is that just a freaking?
Well,
ring?
dude,
I don't know.
Your last name is Farang? No, I'm just kidding.
Farang.
So, dude, Mike, please send an email to Robbie at thespot.fm. You guys should totally hang out. I mean, it would be really neat because if no other reason, he's about. Yeah, I was going to say, Robbie, you're probably about 2 years ahead of him in the whole like experienced all of the stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been planning like mad. But what's interesting, and this is not a slight to you at all, Mike, but I've watched some of your videos. He's going through the same stuff everybody does. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to get this insurance, and it's going to have all of this coverage, and then I'm going to need this, and it's going to be like $4,000. And like I say to everybody, I even said this to a guy I did consulting for like about a day ago, which is, dude, just get here.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
You can do analysis paralysis all day long, and then you'll end up never here. Just come here. Worst case scenario, if you're coming from the U.S., you've got some cash on you, for God's sake. You've got means. Come over here. Worst case scenario, you're like, oh, shit, I need to fly back to the U.S. for a couple of weeks and do some stuff that I forgot to do. And then you get to come back to Thailand. It's kind of a neat experience. Yeah. So... Anyway, I'm thrilled that you're watching the channel. I'm honored by it, Mike. And I really hope that you and Robbie connect. That's like totally cool. Because that's another pro tip. Find guys that have done it before.
Well, a big pro tip, is the stress level. Your first trip here. I mean, I'm assuming this is his first trip. and the stress level, I mean, it's so exciting, and it can be kind of stressful. And yeah,
So
being super excited and
talk
all
to
that
me
kind of
about
stuff.
that, Robbie, because I mean, again, you and I talk a lot, right? So then I kind of forget that like what we talk about on the air isn't necessarily, for the lack of better description, your real feelings, right? Because like you're on the air, like we're doing stuff like right now, right? Like I could have like my leg could be bleeding, but you guys don't know about that. It's not relevant to the show, and so all that's relevant is I make sure that Met Tech knows my back doesn't hurt as much. But like, because I will tell you that I did not have a whole lot of stress. I was so freaking stoked.
Well,
I was just like, so talk to me about some of the stressors you're going through, because that's very
part
real.
of that, my first trip here, yeah, I was pretty darn pumped up. And
Okay.
I guess what I mean by stress is you don't know what you don't know.
Okay.
I mean, and that's really what it comes down to. I mean, when you get to the airport, I mean, if you've flown out of LAX or SFO airport or any of the big American airports, man, it is a pain in the ass.
It's
You go to
God.
Bangkok airport, it is
Yeah.
probably the easiest,
It's-
largest airport I have ever. I mean, they have it laid out, in my opinion, perfectly.
You've got to go to Singapore. That will change your why in the world is this not the standard of airport? I mean, it's
I think
just
that way about
amazing.
Bangkok. It's
Yeah, no,
just
I get
level
it.
after level, and it's one big giant building, and there you go. And hey,
Yeah,
99-cent guys back. I love it.
Oh, cool.
But anyways, yeah, I think the stress level was you don't know what you don't know, such as your phone, how to, the SIM card.
Right.
That's such a huge thing that, you know what? Bring a phone that you can flip out that SIM card, because if you need communication, first of all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And me, I didn't want to pay money that I didn't, really want to pay. So yeah,
Right.
Robert Mack, there you go.
Thanks for coming by,
And
buddy.
Pension
Good to see you.
Passport said he wanted a shirt. So I think we already talked about, but go to thespot.fm and buy your shirt right now.
Yeah.
We are shipping them out as they come in. So the first shipment went out today. And if we get a couple more this weekend, we'll ship them out on Monday. So
yeah, just go to the Doodly link, dude. Doodly/spot. You'll be able to get your shirt right there. Robbie will ship it to you. It's going to be awesome. I'm really stoked that you guys came by. So
I got someone else doing it. Come on. I got
so
my sweatshop.
Chicago.
They're shipping it to you.
Yeah, exactly. With a whole bunch of got a bunch of sewing
Bunch of
machines.
people from Arroyo Grande.
Beating these people. So the other things, though, that you're dealing with, and the phone thing is an interesting thing, because I think a lot of people in the United States, I mean, we grow up in the United States, and so you just that's your default setting. So everyone's like, oh, well, my phone, they don't think about it. I have a phone. Well, then you leave the country, and you're like, crap, my phone's locked. I had a buddy the other day. He says, well, so what am I going to, he's in Hawaii. What am I going to do when I get over there? I need your help in buying a phone here before I get there. And again, it's the default, just get here. Literally hours after you land, we will get you a phone. It will cost less than $200. It will be friggin' amazing. It will do everything your iPhone does for 1/5 the cost. It'll have 2 SIMs in it, so you can take your US SIM out of your loser locked phone, put it in this new one, so you can still receive text messages, let it get into your banking, and then you have your local SIM. I mean, it's just get here is the biggest pro tip I've always given people. But
doing it, and I appreciate the guy booking. I mean, that's great. You're going to be here in just over a week. I mean, man, I remember my first week right before I came here. It was like, do I need to learn Thai? And of course, I'm watching YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I need to
binging.
learn the basic. And Mike's helped me out on this. The basic, and this is a pro tip. The words sawadee cup, sawadee ka. What's the difference? Well, you can say it cup if you can't roll, right? I mean,
yeah, if you can't roll, you can just say cup.
Yeah, and
Cup.
when you hear people say die, you're like, what does that mean? What, you want me to die? It has nothing to do with you wanting to die. That means okay,
Yeah, right.
So learn
Die,
a
die.
few words like kampungkap, or how would you say it, Mike?
Kap kun klap. Yeah.
There
But
you
at the
go.
end of the day, you can also roll it. It becomes, I mean, kind of like in the U.S., you're like, hello, or you say, hey, hi, huh, what's up, hey,
Yeah.
So here it's like clap or cop.
And people
and
speak English. I mean, that was probably one of my stressors. Like, oh my gosh, am I going to get lost? And I knew I wasn't, because I'm travel savvy, but not everybody's travel savvy. So, thanks, Robert, giving us a shout out on the quality of our shirts.
He was the first one, right? Bought one right there on the spot from you at Wombat one afternoon.
He was the first purchase. That's right. Hey, Alan.
Do you ID that hood? What? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
The interesting process, I think, is the whole. I mean, so here's the thing. You hear the phrase. A lot of people will say, "People don't like change." And I will tell you that I'm a big fan. I actually like the change, provided I've architected a scenario such that it's good change. I mean, everyone says, oh, yeah, people hate change. I tell you what, if the change is you walk up to someone with a briefcase full of $1 million that is tax-free, no one hates that change, okay? You know, so, I mean, I get when they say they don't like change that is disappointing or it hurts or it's painful or it's, you know, financially disappointing. But the Tale.
Definitely, guys. Hey, you know, another pro tip is, and I wish I would have known before I got here on my very first trip, and we've talked about it, is what apps to download and why. So take a look at
That's
this
a great one, dude.
right
Nice.
here, and so download the Line app. It is the way people communicate. It's the way the Thais communicate and the expats and holiday users there. Grab is great if you want food. I don't use the Grab that much. Maybe Mike's does, but it's also another great app for transportation. Agoda, man, we should talk about that here in a minute, Mike's. Agoda is great for just last minute booking or booking in advance. I love Agoda, me personally, or booking.com. I think it's owned by the same people. I'm not sure.
Booking.com Holdings. Yeah, they own it. Yeah.
To me, my favorite app to download is Bolt, which is a cash taxi transportation app. I've never had a problem yet with Bolt. Some people might have. Maybe in the comments, you guys can give us your experience on that. And then last but not least, I think is very important, is Google Translate. Mike's is another guy who's actually really good at Google Translates, and he's like scanning pictures and you can see what they're saying in Thai.
Yeah.
Download those 5 apps. They're free. It costs nothing to download. Check them out. Use them. Ask a question. If you guys got pro tips, I think to me this is a super, super valuable. And again, I wish I had this. I wish I had known about all those apps.
I'll tell you, those are great suggestions. The other thing I will say in addition, right? So Google Translate, go on there and choose the language, right? English, Thai, and then download Thai to your phone, right? So that if you don't have internet access, it will still be able to translate.
Dude, great tip.
Additionally, Google Maps, and you're like, oh, of course I've got Google Maps on my phone. Download the local app. Basically, go to Bangkok, and then it'll have, you know, basically all of the city of Bangkok. Download that local app so it will work. If you don't have cell service, whatever, you'll always have GPS. I mean, unless you're in a dungeon. Then, and you'll be able to use that to help you navigate around. That's hugely helpful. If you don't know, Bangkok is what's labeled as the #1 Facebook city in the world. And simply all that means is that people use that for a lot of communication and I/O. So yes, it's posting pictures of my groceries and and I'm having selfies, me and Robbie. Starbucks cups, that sort of thing. But additionally, like businesses over here, they use that as from a professional perspective. They use that as their main website. I will have conversations, like very business conversations on Facebook Messenger. I remember the first time I'm at the Dell Technologies office over there on Wireless Road, and this guy's like the VP of ASEAN, and he's like, oh yeah, what's your Facebook? I'm like, full of pictures of me and Gracie. I'm like, what do you mean, what's my face? And he's like, no, just give it to me and we'll communicate that way. And I'm like, okay, we're talking about like $1 million deals of IT infrastructure on Facebook. It was bizarre, you know.
Totally bizarre.
Anyway, the point is, pro tip, learn a few basic Thai customs cultural rules, such as 1, don't point your feet at people, which I get. Don't touch people on the head. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, unless you have like some twitching Tourette's sort of thing, I don't normally touch people on the head in the United States either. So it's kind of like, well, you know, whatever you do in Thailand, don't whip out your dick and start peeing in a public fountain, because that would be really bizarre. Mark, I'm just giving you shit. I know what you mean. And I will tell you that here's the thing, too, about being over here and being a tourist. If you make those faux pas, the default setting I would submit for the majority of Thais will be to graciously educate you on how much of a boob you're being. I made a pretty big one as far as the feet, and that's why I wanted to share this, is that I'm at the big Grand Palace and the reclining Buddha. I'm at the reclining Buddha, and at the time, one of the exhibits there was the Emerald Buddha. So it's this giant green, Emerald Buddha, right? So I go and I sit down. And how do you sit down in the United States? Well, you sit down on your butt and you put your arms behind you and you stick your legs straight out and you cross them and you just sit there and you kind of like look around and you lean back. And my feet are sitting there. The bottoms of my what he means specifically about that is don't let the bottoms of your feet basically, be seen by others. The pointing of toes, like you would point, don't point in general. Don't point your fingers at people in public, that sort of thing too. But my bottoms of my feet are sitting there facing the Buddha. And this is like a super duper type of Buddha. This is the Emerald Buddha.
I went through this too.
And the guy comes over, touches me on the, shoulder. And I don't know what he said to me exactly, but I do remember it was an incredible learning moment. But he was so gracious. He was just like, no, don't do it. And I was just like, oh my God. Because, pointed to everyone else. And of course, their feet are facing behind them. I felt bad. That's not a feeling. I felt remorse. And then, of course, changed my position. So I wasn't basically sitting there mooning their freaking God. And but it will happen. But I would agree. And I will also tell you that, yes, they'll be gracious. They're willing to be tolerant. But to Mark's point, YouTube has been around now long enough, and there's an enormous amount of freaking YouTube videos on Thailand such that you should be able to basically understand the basics of, like, they're like, look, dude, come on, don't tell me you didn't know that. It's like, it's on YouTube, for God's sake, So I really do appreciate that, Mark. And of course, you've been on the channel before, and I've seen you, so I'm just giving you a hard time. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there are some things like that, like and to the point of like touching people on the head. You're right. I mean, again, like jokingly, right? You don't normally do that, right? You don't like walk up to someone in Walmart and say, "Hey, how you doing? Can you give me a hand? Because I really need to find some M&Ms right now." And they'd be like, "What the fuck? What are you doing? You're weird, dude." But the point is that, you'll see a young child, or you see, you're just joking around with somebody. You'll meet a girl, and like a couple of weeks in, you'll be, oh, no. Just imagine that doing this would be the equivalent of in public just kind of basically grabbing a girl's butt. And it's like, no, you don't do that. It's not that sort of crass, okay? But again, it's the reasoning behind that. If you care, and to his points, thank you for scanning the QR code. Someone is that this is the highest part of the body. This is the most important part of the body. And in theory, it's the cleanest part of the body. And as you work your way down to your feet touch the ground, and that's the dirtiest part of your body. And so that's the reasoning behind that. So anyway.
But have those feet out when you're getting your massage. I got to tell you, Thailand has the best foot massage ever for $6. Come on.
Yes. No, I mean, it's 250. It's amazing.
And pay $100 tip. Don't be a cheap Charlie. Pay that tip. Sorry for all you guys named Charlie out there. Pay that tip, and it's freaking awesome. You guys will totally love it. And you guys, what? We're only 3 subscribers away. This is totally rad.
Living the dream here at 99.7.
Most of you guys are watching on the spot. So
thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
I really appreciate it.
That's totally awesome. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And there's a pro tip from Patrick. If you're not booking a hotel ahead of time, it's okay. Totally agree with that. Don't stress out.
View the room before paying. Yep.
Now, I have never done that, so maybe I should try viewing a room before, because I've had some bad rooms.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally possible. I will tell you that if you're in like a 4 or North Star hotel, I mean, even 3. Oh, 3-star hotels over here actually are quite good, by the way.
Pretty good.
But it is a more common practice over here. You're totally correct. I've gone in and said, well, hey, how much are your rooms? And they'll tell you, and you're like, can I see one? And the important thing about it is, yes, while you can do it, it's so accepted that they'll be like, oh, yeah, sure. And they'll grab a key, and you'll walk up and see a room, and they won't be anybody there at the front desk anymore. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that's a great tip. Thank you.
Yeah. Foot massages are awesome. You know what? When I was there in 2021, I think, whatever, when I came over there, I had a pretty severe foot injury. And
like a cut?
Matter of fact, I take it back. It was 2019. I had an Achilles tendon issue. And,
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, but I had my physical therapist put it on my phone video, and I would show the massage person, before paying them the 300 baht, and say, can you do this? And sure enough, they did it. And I got physical therapy almost every single day. Freaking awesome. Yeah, it did work. And I can walk again. I mean, I felt like I couldn't walk. Check out this comment from Trailer Trash. I mean, I just love that name, man.
Thank you.
That's probably my favorite name right now. I like
What's
99 Cent Guy, but this one's pretty good.
What's his real name?
Was my favorite until he deleted it.
Yeah, the big reel. I mean,
Trailer Trash Thailand. I love it, dude. You got to tell us more about your trailer, man. I gotta check this out, man. I'm all about trailer trash. I grew up in Fontana here in California. So
to Pension's statement, and you've actually used this as a pro tip before, which is book like a night or two. Because first of all, it's cheap. So even if you like get there and it's lousy, you're like, this is crap. I'm going to walk down to the Marriott or the Hyatt or whatever. I just don't want to deal with this 3-star nonsense. If you're totally high maintenance, you're not going to be out a whole lot of money. Just do it.
And your first night, Mike, and you'll maybe agree this, the first night, I highly recommend book a nice place because you're going to want to be well rested. Don't worry about food. I mean, food's everywhere. But book a decent hotel where you feel good because when you wake up, you don't want to wake up if, the beds are hard. Let's face it. I mean, I'm sorry. Unless you book a nice place. Yeah. The beds are freaking hard. Get used to it.
It's
no
more
crying in Thailand.
Yeah. There are going to be some things that you'll notice and being like, well, that's kind of, I'll give you guys a great example. Here's a pro tip. Well, first of all, be flexible. That's the best pro tip. But my scenario was I get here, right? And I stay at the JW because I'm like, well, I know what a Marriott experience is. And I've never been to this crazy country before, this third world country. There could be elephants that I commute on. So I'm staying there and I get it. And of course, the first thing that was different in this room is there's this spray thing, this spray nozzle that normally I'm used to seeing come out of my kitchen sink that I use to like spray. And this is attached to, and it's by a toilet. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's the JW Marriott, and this is like their version of a bidet. Yeah, I'm going to wash my hands while I'm taking a dump. And I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of cool. And then I do say, this is kind of, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is what a 5-star experience is. So then I get in a cab and I drive down, or get down to Pattaya. And on the way, we stop at a restroom and I go into a public restroom at a gas station and I go into the stall and there's the sprayer and the stall's clean. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is amazing. So then I get to my next hotel. It's right on the beach there in Pattaya. And it's like, it's okay. It's like a 3-star hotel, a couple $1,000 baht a night maybe. And they have a sprayer in there, which is great. So I'm like, okay, that was really new and awesome. The new thing that I learned that I didn't expect that basically threw me and disappointed me was that the sink in the bathrooms only has cold water. That's very, very common unless you're in like a 4 or 5-star place. Exactly. So and we refer to that as the bum gun, if you guys don't know. And it's not a requirement that you have a bracelet made out of string tied on your arm from the Buddha for you to be able to use it. Don't worry about that. And that's actually, just so we're clear, that's not how you use it. We can give you guys a full motion video. Robbie could do that for us, actually. But yes, that is the bum gun. But rarely is there hot water in the sink. Usually, right? It's just like cold on and off. And the reason I bring this up is because I'm at this hotel and I booked it through Agoda, and Agoda sends me a message and they're like, well, how do you like it? I say, well, it's okay, but for some reason, like the bathroom's broken. They don't have hot water. And of course, I go down to the front desk and I say, hey, there's no hot water in the sink. And she looks at me like, right, thanks for letting us know. And I said, well, what do I do? I shave at the sink with like hot water. And so like, how do I do it? She says, well, shave in the shower. And I thought to myself, what are you, a barbarian? Like, I can't shave in the shower. I shave in the shower now all the time. It's friggin' amazing. But stuff like that, you're absolutely you're gonna notice it. I will tell. What is Toby Little Girl?
Well, you see what Ryan just said.
Is that Dave's? Thank you, Dave's wife. That's pretty awesome. What did he say?
No, I was going to what Ryan had just said, and he's like, yeah, once you go to the bum gun, I mean, dude, honestly, if I was staying here any longer, I'm going to install one here. Because that thing is a lifesaver. That's
interesting. I'm actually surprised at that because I will tell you that definitely didn't even take me a week. Probably the second day I was back home in the United States from my first trip to Thailand, I go to Home Depot. They've got like 7 or 8 different varieties of the bum gun. I had no idea these even existed in the United States. Yes. I'm in San Diego. I drive down to Imperial Beach, giant Home Depot, giant Walmart, whatever. And I go in and I say, hey, I know this is kind of weird, but like, do you guys have sprayers? I need to attach one to my toilet. And I'm thinking they're going to think I'm totally crazy, but they're going to bring me over to Kitchens and they're going to say, well, yeah, attach this. Here's the Y splitter. So he brings me over down the toilet aisle, and I'm thinking, oh, this guy doesn't know what I'm doing. He looks over at there's like literally there's one that's like $85. It's got like a totally red racing stripe down the side of it, shoulder strap. It's got a radio. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, they're totally available at HomeDepot.com. You can order one, have one. I put that thing on. I'm like, oh my God, how was I living this dirty in a first world country? Everyone's walking around with poop on their bum. Speaking of which,
yep, there you go, Mike. Go for it.
Speaking of poop on your bum, if you really want to hear amazing music while you're pooping, spot.fm, thespot.fm. Go to it, bkk.fm. Wait. Did someone just tell me oh my Buddha. This is friggin' amazing. Thank you so much. The spot.fm. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time we've all been waiting for. OMG. Thank you guys so much. On behalf of Robbie and me, you guys are absolute stars. I'm so honored that we're doing this, and I'm so grateful that you guys got people to be part of basically what is the Cool Kids Table. And just remember, it's not the Cool Kids Table because Robbie and I are freaking spectacular. It's the Cool Kids Table because you guys are here. So please, thank you so much. Please stay, and please let us know how we can add value to your life. Because sorry, Robbie. Without doing that, why am I getting up in the morning, right? So thank you guys very, very much. I'm really, really excited about that. That said, buy yourself a goddamn bum gun.
There you go. Have a clean ass when you go out.
Have a clean ass, man. You're gonna be the envy of all those other a-holes out there.
I love this. Hey, check this out from Joe. He's wanting to subscribe to just that video.
I tell you what.
Channel.
I think we should get the lady boy to do. We should totally do it on the spot because we'll put the logo right in the center, and we'll be like, okay, imagine if you will,
a brown eye.
Our logo is a little cornhole. Is that wrong?
Love it. I don't know. You might get banned. I don't know. YouTube's got all these new rules, guys. I don't know.
There we go.
Tommy J. Mariano
hey, Tommy. Buddy. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Tommy.
Mariano just sent me a message. I can finally send smoothies again. Thank you so much. That's right, because with 1,000 subs, we could potentially get... Oh, no, we need to get 4,000 watch hours. But stand by. We are going to get there. We'll be doing a marathon live stream at Songkran, guys.
We are. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but that marathon's going to happen, man. We got to do it.
How do you pronounce that person's name? I love when I see new people come by. Thank you so much. I'm honored. But how do you say your name? Pobreng Milipayan? Am I doing it with the right sort of accent? I can't tell what ethnicity that is. That's a really cool name. I dig it. I hope I'm saying it right. Thank you so much for coming by.
Honey and Robbie. I mean, come on, you're the honey. I know my name.
Honey. What a good puppy.
Right. Cool kids, guys. We got 1,000 cool kids tuned in. So
absolutely.
We really appreciate it, guys. Totally appreciate it. Look, got some laughing people in here. What other pro tips can we share? I think Tommy needs a pro tip. Everybody's saying hi, Tommy here.
How many hours do we have? That's a great question. I think right now we're just over 1,000. I think we need to basically get to. I know we need to get to 4,000. So
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, but it's it's. I mean, we're gonna. And to Robbie's point, we're talking about that. So Songkran, right? Songkran's happening in all over Thailand. But it's happening like crazy, of course, in Pattaya. It's bonkers in Pattaya. It's also bonkers in Phuket, by the way. But it's not super bonkers except if you're over near Nana here in Bangkok. But yeah, we're going to be down in. We're going to definitely be down in Pattaya for Songkran, and we're going to be promoting the spot.
Minimum. Yeah.
Oh, we have 1,002 subscribers. Thank you guys very much. That's very amazing.
I'll be there for the 3 days. I think the 13th through the 16th or 13th through the 17th.
Okay.
Of April, I believe that's Songkran.
Mm-hmm. Okay, lifetime. We have 1.3 kilo-hours of watch time. We have basically 1,300 watch hours, so we need another 2,700 watch hours.
And you guys are helping us out. Very much appreciated for sure. And again, if you don't want to listen to us on YouTube or whatever, like Mike said, go to the spot.fm. Has awesome music. And you guys, just so you know, if you've heard the spot.fm before, go back to it now. The music is even better because we have an awesome cool kid who's doing the programming.
It takes thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. No, it's the goal is to basically make it so that you don't just hear one good song and then switch away, as you might guess, right? But thank you. I appreciate that. That's really cool. Oh wait, what did she say? What is the thing here? Palbrang Malapani is poor but happy. Is it Thai or is it Malaysian? I don't even know. I'm learning something. This is amazing. I love learning new stuff like this. Marisol YouTube account. Actually, I just use it sometimes. Okay, got it. That's my sister-in-law. So that's Gracie's sister, Marisol. So nice. That's why I said, yeah. So that is Gracie probably typing away now. So there you go.
Well, cool. Stuck in Florida just tuned in. So there we go.
Hey, cool. Wow. Haven't seen you in a long time, dude. Thank you for coming by. What is Pounding Sand disappointed about?
I don't know, man.
That's a bummer. Because of the 1,300 watch hours? Yeah. I know we'll get there.
I'm not worried about the watch hours at all.
It's Tagalog.
We'll get there.
Thank you, honey.
We'll just put this on play 24/7. We'll get enough people watching.
We'll just play our current video over and over and over.
You know, the important thing, guys, you guys subscribed. You're supporting us. We really appreciate it. And then all the listen hours we get on the spot.fm outside of this show.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's totally cool. To make it happen, we have a couple of sponsors who are like completely sponsoring our show. We have Patia Motorbikes. 100-watt motorbikes, mics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here's what's cool about Patia Motorbikes is Patia Motorbike Rentals is run by a couple, and they're great, and they're right off of basically Patia Third Road. If you cruise up Patia Third Road, pretty much before you get to Sukhumvit, you take a left, and then it's really easy to find. At the end of the day, the best thing for you guys to do, just go to Facebook, Patia Motorbike Rentals. And what they do say, obviously in this ad, but what they forget to do, he was telling me the other day, they always forget to ask their customers to do this. Check in and like their Facebook page and just walk in and bam, you get 10% off. And if you're getting like a really cheap motorbike for a couple of days, that motorbike's 100 baht a day if you're getting like a really small one. So I mean that means your motorbike's 90 baht a day, you know, all of a sudden. Now they have clicks and they have PCXs and they have great new bikes. Sorry, not brand new bikes, but they have newer bikes and they have bigger bikes.
That's like $3. Like
so yeah, no, totally. Less. I mean, it's just fantastic. They're really, really cool. The other person that I wanted to say hello to, the guys behind All Point IPTV. Now, here's why this is important. So we give you the Patia Motorbike Rentals info, right? Because it's like you're going to be in Patia and you're going to need to rent a motorbike. And Robbie ran into this guy, and it's like, great, we'll say something about you because we really like your customer service. And they're really awesome. All Point IPTV, I ran across this and I thought, well, this is kind of interesting because when I'm over in Patia, right, what do you hear about like I need to get a VPN so I can watch my YouTube or my Amazon Prime and all this nonsense, right? You got to set this up. And then if you don't have it on your phone or you're using whatever, and what was amazing to me is that you just go to really, it's this simple, guys, allpointiptv.com. Like just go there. And here's what's cool. Try it for 24 hours. And if you don't like it, just cancel it. But I mean, in 24 hours, I can totally figure out if I can see the movies I want, if I can watch. And then the amazing thing is, if you guys remember Slingbox from years ago, I don't know if it really became all that popular. But what it allowed you to do is basically like watch your home TV with that experience anywhere else via the internet. And that's all this is. So allpointiptv.com. Yeah, check them out. They're really cool people. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. I tried it out. It's kind of cool. I don't watch TV much, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, but here's what's so if you guys don't know, so behind this soundproofing box over here, which everyone will refer to as a mattress leaned up against a wall, there's actually a TV and it's connected to cable.
Guys. It's the studio.
It's a studio. It's a studio. Just ask me. Me and Phil Collins, we hang on all day long, and the channels that you get, they're 100% Thai. It's not like you get CNN in English or you get like, let's say for the sake of argument, the BBC, if you get BBC One or something like that, you don't get that. Yeah. But again, allpointiptv.com, just check it out. That's all I want to, I'm not going to, I don't want to be like a big spokesman or anything like this or run like a 30-second commercial or something. But it was neat. It was like, wow, I can have that same experience. It's really cool. What do we got here? Not necessarily. I bet it is one, Patrick. Guys can explain the bot bus system in Pattaya and tuk-tuk in Bangkok. I think that would be helpful for some people.
I'll tell you what, Mike, let me do the bot bus.
I was going to say.
The tuk-tuk.
You go for it. I'm going to grab a cool and refreshing beverage.
All right. So, Patrick, you're going to Pattaya, I sure hope. So, the bot bus system is essentially, a couple loops through the main areas where the expats go, the holiday visitors. Dude, it's 10 baht. 10 baht, which is I think about 70 cents or something like that. You get on this truck, this little pickup truck, and you get on it, go where you're going to go, hit the buzzer, walk around to the front of the truck, give the guy 10 baht. If you give him 100 baht, you might not get all your change back because he might not have it. So have those 10 baht coins in your pocket ready to go. I always do. I always carry them, take them, and essentially you pay your 10 baht, and then you go as far as you want. Essentially, it's a big giant loop. So if you're looking at Pattaya, it takes you through Beach Road and what is that, Second Road. So it's just a big giant loop. They will stop the bus, and then you have to get off, and that's only at the interchange of over there on. And you guys help me out, put in the comments. I know Ryan's on. Throw in the comment where they stop at, but it's between basically by Walking Street, which is the end of Beach Road, and you can get back on for another 10 baht and go all the way around again. Or you can put the 10 baht and go up to the Jom Tien area, which that's where I like to stay at, is Jom Tien, the beach road over there, and Praknak Hill up, takes you through that area. And it's very inexpensive. You do not need to rent a motorbike. I've rented a motorbike, love it. But then again, I was staying at a place off the strip. And but essentially, you don't need to rent a motorbike unless you really want to. It's great. Can be kind of dangerous. My first trip there in 2019, I pretty much took that bot bus everywhere, and I was there for 3 months. So if that tells you something, when it comes to the tuk-tuks, I consider that more of a Bangkok thing. And when Mike tunes back in, we're gonna hit 30 cents. Thank you, Chasing Dreams. So it's 30 cents to take that bot bus all over the place, and that's dirt cheap. So hold those coins in your hand. And then now that Mike's back, let's let him talk about the tuk-tuks. So you got the bot bus. So Mike's take it away on the tuk-tuk.
So here's what's interesting about the tuk-tuks in Bangkok is you will get information from expats and that sort of thing, YouTube channels and sort of thing, saying, "Oh my God, it's a total tourist thing. Like, don't do it." And again, just so we're clear, obviously the bot bus is called that because it's 10 baht, and it's at Song Tao, basically, rows, 2 rows, Song 2 rows, and it's back of a pickup truck. The tuk-tuks, and if you don't know, they're called that because the sound of the engine is tuk 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 tuk. Okay, and anyway, so imagine basically a 3-wheeled motorcycle, like the bigger ones that you would see like in Southern California, where they have like the saddle the big bags, and you can like fit 2 people on it. So imagine that sort of like as a frame, but then bigger, right? So the wheels got a wider wheelbase in the back, and then you've got this tuk-tuk thing. The guy kind of sits over the transmission, and he's got the ability to drive it, and it maneuvers fairly well. I mean, you can't go in and out of traffic, but in Bangkok, it's a fun experience. It can also be a little nerve-wracking, but it is a way to get from point A to point B that I would submit in Bangkok is infinitely better than taking a motorbike taxi. I would not get on the back of a motorbike taxi in Bangkok. I think that's a bad idea. As far as the cost, again, that's going to vary. And this is actually sort of an overarching pro tip that a lot of people, that I will tell you right now, Gracie mentioned to me that Kitty made her aware of this, and she kind of knew it, but Kitty enforced it onto Gracie, which is always ask for the price first. And that's very true with tuk-tuks, because while the price of a bot bus is 100% 10 baht, unless you're going like, anyway, the point is it's 10 baht. And with a tuk-tuk, though, it's very negotiable, and there's no meter. Okay, so just quick pro tip about taxis in Bangkok: get in and make sure the guy turns the meter on. So always say meter, 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 meter. If he doesn't, and he's like, "Oh no, one price, just get out, leave." But with tuk-tuks, it's like, well, how long? How far to like Siam Paragon? They exist in sort of the higher density areas, and not just high density tourists. Okay. I mean, you'll see plenty of Thai people getting in the back of these tuk-tuks. There's a tuk-tuk that the little restaurant down the street from where Robbie and I live, they use a tuk-tuk every single day, and it's filled bottom to top with like huge barrels full of food. And they bring it to sort of like a way that you can, get your rice and that sort of thing. Little street side, smorgasbord of basically different foods. And you will pay about 200 to potentially 500 baht, depending upon how far you're going. the kind of mood the person's in. If you're like Robbie and you're traveling with a Thai girlfriend, I would submit you will get an even better deal. So try and work that scenario out. But the bottom line is that because of where these things are, higher populated area, usually more of an expat area, their English is going to be good enough such that you'll be able to communicate with this person and be clear on where you're going to go. And it's a fun experience. I'm curious. I don't really take them. I think of that. You've done it several times, right? Like you and Kitty take these things. Yeah. What's your experience on them?
Tuk-tuks are, and again, like Mike said, get the price beforehand.
Right, exactly.
Get the price beforehand. Do not pay him beforehand. Just get the price. A lot of times they'll find a shortcut and not take you where you're supposed to go. So if you have your phone, use Google Maps, whatever. I've had great experiences on them. They do, sometimes it gets kind of scary. I mean, but I think the price is right. And if you have a Thai person with you, I think Mike's alluded to this. I pay a lot less because I have Kitty, who's a Thai girl, speaks Thai to them, and she goes, "That's too much." And then we'll wait for a minute, and we'll get another one. And the Thais typically to go basically across Bangkok, not across the whole town, so like central Siam, to go from Siam to the Grand Palace is about 300 baht.
Is that what you're paying?
Kitty's like, that's too much, and so we'll wait. And 2 minutes later, another tuk-tuk driver, and she'll straight out say 200 baht, and the guy will say yes all the time. So she gets the price, and then she deducts it, and it works all the time. I like taking them because it's like a roller coaster, and sorry guys, it's $6.
Right,
and you're not waiting.
Exactly. No,
and traffic is crazy.
Unlike roller coasters in the U.S. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, is your life at risk? Well, I mean, traffic is crazy. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't take the tuk-tuk as much now as I did before. I still think they're great. I like the BTS, which we could save that for a whole nother video, or we can talk about it.
Absolutely.
And that's the SkyTrain system. But I want to get to some of your guys' comments. So we got here, just arrived, but handful of tips, new time visiting. Yeah, definitely connect with us. We'll give you more tips.
Thank you for coming by.
Here. Yeah, every week we're on the show here, 8 o'clock Bangkok, 5 o'clock here in California time.
Mm-hmm.
So a good morning here, stuck in Florida to Trailer Trash. I still love that name, man. I think that's my new number one. I like Eat Out Patio, but...
Did you get to this when you were talking about the bot buses? Is Tommy's, did you figure that out, the 2 routes? Did you get to this?
So there's more than 2 routes. So I know of 3.5, I should say, because you got the loop around Soy Pacao.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that loop, and I don't know the whole loop because I haven't taken that bot bus too often. I typically go to Second Road, walk up Soy Honey, and I'm there. That's how I go.
Oh, that's how you cut through to Bukau. Okay, I understand. Yeah,
which I like because I like Soy Honey. It's a quiet street. It's got Soapies.
Okay, let me just clarify for you guys. Soy Honey being a quiet street means really Robbie basically goes for the blue light special and like goes out to dinner with his grandparents because
3 p.m., buddy.
At 3 p.m. because I will invite you if you want an entertaining, non-quiet experience. Walk down Soy Honey at about 10:30 or 11 at night. That's when,
no, 3 p.m.
That's when you want to go down there.
So here we go on the bus. So here's the interchange on the. So it is the corner of Pattaya Thai and Second Road, which is the south part of the Beach Road area by Walking Street. So that's Pattaya Thai. I couldn't remember that. Thanks a lot, Patrick, for pointing that out. I really appreciate it.
As a tip, when you're taking the bot bus, I mean, you can literally take the bot bus from basically Jomtien south all the way through Jomtien, all the way across up Pratamnak Hill underneath the overpass. And what it does to that interchange is it literally goes straight past that on Second Road, and you can take it all the way down to the Dolphin Roundabout effectively. Yeah, I will tell you, though, my experience is if you're doing that, when you get off, if you're past like Pattaya Central Road, give them 20 baht because it's a distance. Okay, so that's just my non-cheap Charlie behavior.
Us get off the bus and then get back on.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if they've done that to you. We were told we had to get off the bus, and then
Where?
at Pattaya Thai before you go up to Jom Tien.
Before you go up to Jom Tien?
No, so we would go, let's say from Beach Road Pattaya on Soi 5 area.
Right.
Maybe I'm getting it wrong. We would go all the way up to Pattaya Thai, stop,
that's wrong
get
distance.
off the bus.
If you go from Jom Tien South Road, through Jom Tien, over Pratumnak,
going the other way
into Pattaya. Yeah, exactly. All the way down to the Dolphin Roundabout. It essentially goes all the way through. Now, occasionally it'll stop at Pattaya Thai. Rarely, though. Usually it just goes right through those lights, and then it goes past Central Road, down past the mighty Alcazar Ladyboy show, and all the way into.
Not that you know that, right?
Not that I would ever go to that more than twice a year.
Yeah, and the bot buses are great for brawl, for bar crawls. Hey, you guys know my name is Robbie the Butcher for a reason, so there you go.
Everything.
Robbie the Butcher on the spot.
Yeah, definitely. Get on it, then hit the button when you want to stop. You guys hit the button when you want to stop. They're not going to stop for you.
And
hit the button
what is that?
So they know.
But what does that mean? Describe the button.
So on the bot bus, and you guys be prepared for it to be crowded, especially right now, right? It's pretty packed. The little button is a little buzzer that's above your head, right, or above your shoulder, or in the middle of the bot bus. If you get off and the bus is just stopped, like at a light, well, there is no lights, right, or whatever in traffic,
it's more of a
not the way to do it.
suggestion.
Hit the buzzer and let the bus pull over a little bit. If you just get off, you might take a chance of getting injured because they're going to go when they can go. That I've learned from some experience. I saw a guy try to get off the bot bus, an old guy, and he ate it, and hopefully he didn't get hurt too bad. And that was in 2019.
Did you describe for them the way you call a bot bus if you're waiting on the side of the street?
Was there a certain way to call it? Go for it, because I didn't know there was
How
a certain
do you
way
do
to
it?
call it.
How do you do it?
For me,
if you're
I
standing
stand
there,
out in the street and I wave my hand like this, and magically they appear.
That's an important thing. So you will see people do this, okay, and you'll think, okay, so like, is he just being flippant? Is he say, oh hey, I'm happy LGBT day? That basically means come here. This is the equivalent of this. Okay. Now, if you do this in Thailand, that means something completely different. So you'll see people like waving their arm like this to the thing. And I remember the first time I saw that, I thought, that's weird. I'll never do that. And if you don't do that, the bot bus won't stop. So that's why I wanted to mention it.
Yeah, definitely. So we got a lot of help here from guys trying to help us out. Yeah, we should do that, Mike. We'll put this on a playlist, and that way it does play all the way through. I didn't even think about that. We put all of our live streams on one playlist, and you hit play all. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Thanks a lot for that tip. I remember that now.
Yeah, well, as far as I know, they are. I usually put them in what's called the live stream playlist. If I have not done that, I will do that. I know it is on Live My Ass Off, but absolutely, I will totally do that on our channel. Thank you very much for that recommendation.
Yeah, Thais do get better prices because they can speak Thai. I agree with you. And Ryan there, the big reel, he actually speaks Thai, and I'm sure his Thai friends still get better prices than he does, even though he can speak it.
Where's Ryan? Where are you taking Thai lessons? That's an interesting. Actually, hold on. What time is it? I don't want to go on a massive rant. Like I said, we got like 6 minutes left. So I tell you what. Now with 6 minutes, what do we have for like? I want to leave the folks with a pro tip that they really are asking for. I mean, it seems obviously we could. In fact, I tell you what. Let's just continue on with the bot bus things for the next 6 or so minutes because I think that's an important topic for a lot of people.
Yeah. So we are just sent the bot bus map. I'm not sure where you sent it at. Did you send it to Mike? If you want to check the email, maybe you
I absolutely will. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
So yeah, and Ryan and I knew this, and I'll just explain that he has a private tutor, and he's on an education visa, and he's doing it legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
no, for sure.
Yeah, the big reel sent it online, so I don't know if he sent it to me or you, but I don't have my line on. Yeah, you got to send it to Mike. Thanks, buddy. He sent it to me, but my other computer here just kind of died on me as we're sitting here.
Okay, stand by. He sent us a photo. He sent me a photo, so I can't. Okay. Anyway, the bottom line is we're going to show you a photo, and then you're going to move on. So here's the easiest thing to do. Type into Google bot bus routes Pattaya, and then you'll get exactly what Ryan just sent me. But that is important. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and carry that with you. That's okay. I mean, I use that bot bus, man. I couldn't believe it was 10 baht.
To the point of maps and navigation, especially if it's like during the day and you're in Pattaya or whatever, do not shy away from just getting on a bot bus and getting lost. Because I can tell you that my experience is always been very good when I get lost in Thailand. I mean, I have had people, I'll never forget this. The first time I took like a Thai bus, public bus, and by that I mean no air conditioning, wooden floors, holes in the floors, seats that are sideways, rips, tons of dirt, a vehicle that it's amazing it's still running because it was clearly manufactured in 1963. And it's always reliable and gets me there. And it's also like, 10 to 12 baht on these buses. And these old ladies were like, literally, they got off the bus and escorted me where I needed to go. I had no idea where to go. So my point is that if you're going to get lost in Thailand, it's really fun. Please.
Yeah, it's a lot of
give it a try.
A great pro tip. I appreciate that pro tip right there.
Absolutely.
You guys, I just had up the map. Definitely, like Mike said, go to Google, just type it in. That's what I did. Mm-hmm. And this is the map you're going to get. And I thought there were only 3 lines, but I'm looking at this map and I'm thinking, so Kitty used to go to school up there towards the Sanctuary of Truth. And
okay.
We lived in Jomtien. Mm-hmm. So she had to jump on several different lines, and it costed her 20 baht each way to get to school.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, 60 cents. And oh my gosh, that's great.
That's another thing too. If you guys don't know, Sanctuary of Truth, absolutely worth it. In fact, I think Robbie has at least one, if not several videos on the Sanctuary of Truth, right? Didn't you? I mean, you went there a couple times, right?
Yeah, I went there a couple of times. It's 800 baht for a Falong or a foreigner or holiday traveler. If you've been to Thailand before and you have an ID, like I have a Thai driver's license, it's now Thai pricing. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
True.
Man, I love having that ID. It's kind of cool. But 800 baht, honestly, I'd pay that regardless. It is worth going to at least try it out. To me, it's one of the 10 must-dos when you're in Pattaya.
Agreed. That's a great tip. The 10
Another
must-dos.
One is Soi 6, Walking Street. These are all must-dos, but Sanctuary of Truth is definitely one.
We joked around about soy honey and the time that you go there and that sort of thing when it's quiet versus loud. What's a good time? Here's a pro tip from Robbie. What's a good time to go to Soi 6?
What's a good time to go to Soi 6 when you're single?
Yeah. Well played.
There you go.
Time of day.
Good time when you're single or going through a divorce.
Okay, wait, hold on. We got to absolutely that is just a huge one. That's a chest bump right there. Good answer.
You know what, guys? I actually like Soi 6, and I don't drink. I mean, I drink very, very little. Mike doesn't drink, but we'd go down the Soi 6. And honestly, it's like, to me, going to the circus. I mean, I know it sounds hilarious.
No,
Don't
truly.
Spit that soda out. But no gagging yet.
All over my dead cat.
Mm-hmm. But Soi 6 to me is awesome. It is opened all back up. You can go to YouTube and check it out. But I think that doesn't do it justice. You gotta go there, walk up and down that street, and not be fearful of maybe somebody pulling you into a bar. So
single, if you're single, yeah.
If you're single. Now, what's funny is I take Kitty with me. Now, Kitty, my Thai girlfriend, has never been down. She didn't know this existed. I took
Isn't
her down
that
there.
You would think that they would be like, okay, here's where the expats hang out, and you think that they would know of like. Did she know about like Soy Cowboy or Nana? I mean, she must have known.
Nope, she knew about Nana, but she didn't know it was full of working girls. She had
no
idea. She lived there for 22 years.
I was going to say, and here's, if you guys don't know, Kitty worked in Siam Paragon, which is the mecca of shopping, and probably 50% of, the people you see there are foreigners, right? And so you would be like, you would think that in the decade, the decade and a half that she worked at this place, she would have heard of this Nana Plaza place, but that's Very interesting. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
and we're not going to get into that because we're going to end off our show. You guys,
Indeed.
here is the link right here. Grateful to our host, Mike's part of the Cool Kids Table, putting that out there. Definitely, you guys can go to the YouTube channel, hit play all night. Man, it would be cool to magically see us get to 2,000 hours by the next week. And it's definitely doable if you go to that playlist. Let it play overnight. We don't care. It's fine.
I would be honored,
keep in
guys.
mind-
Both of us would be.
Yeah, we will be posting regular content on the spot. Right now, we're only doing live streams, but we will be doing more content as
For
we
sure.
develop the channel. Right now, that channel is connected to thespot.fm. So if you're not watching on YouTube, you can always listen to us, whether you're in traffic, wherever you're at. Go to thespot.fm, check it out. And Mike, I think we're just about done.
Absolutely. It's a great show today, guys. Robbie, thank you so much. I'm stoked that you're still hanging in there, dude, and I'm thrilled that we're like doing this project together. It's been awesome. Again, like you said, don't forget thespot.fm. Check out the music. Give me your suggestions. Also, make sure if you didn't get any questions answered today, email Robbie at thespot.fm or Mike's at thespot.fm. We love to get your comments and that sort of thing. And then one final thing I'll say, yes, the link is in there in the chat, no matter where you're listening or watching. There's a link there directly to this playlist, which is on The Spot Thailand, youtube.com/@TheSpotThailand. Obviously, all you got to do is click on this mighty thing right here, which of course we love, which is the play all. And that would like really help us out. Thank you guys so much for getting us to 1,000 subs. This is a huge milestone for us as a team and as brothers and as this new Spot Thailand thing. And we just grossly appreciate it. I really thank you guys so much. But please reach us out. And with that, it's Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com. It's Mike's from thespot.fm. And with that, I want to tell you that if you're not living the dream, you're doing it wrong. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, my very good friend will close out the show.
This is Robbie with Walking in My Shoes, Thailand. Make sure you're living your best life. Go where you're treated best, because if you're not living. See you guys next week.
Talk to you guys.